JD, your first question will be from Len Clark.
JD, Len Clark, Dublin City FM. Just talk about the learning experience and playing in the Fiesta Bowl. And then secondly, what did you learn playing alongside Drew White as a linebacker this year?
Drew White's been awesome to me. And even in the locker room today, throughout the whole game, like he's there, he's talking to me, and he's just been a good person to be able to lean on. And I've been able to lean on him a lot. Just he's been able to pick me up, teach me things, just the little details of the game that you don't necessarily like pick up from just watching film and things like that. And so, I mean, I'm so thankful to have played along Drew White, and it's disappointing to not be able to finish the way we needed to finish and help these seniors be able to finish the way they wanted to finish.
Let's go to Eric Hanson.
Hey, JD, a couple of questions for you. One is, what was Marcus like as a head coach, maybe in comparison to a defensive coordinator this month? The other thing is, as you kind of spin into 2022, what are your goals? What are your thoughts about what needs to get better with this team as you go into next season?
I think Coach Freeman's done an awesome job. I think he prepared us really well. He had us ready for the high tempo. He had us ready. Like, it wasn't schematically. It was the little details of we missed tackles. We didn't win the 50-50 balls, those little details. And we need to make sure we do that better. And it's on us. And going into the next season, I just want to make sure I focus on the fundamentals, the little things like finishing leverage tackles, not going 1-for-1 for blocks, just every little detail, just being able to enhance it. And then just being able to take that next step in leadership and be able to help this team become the team that we want to become.
Pete Sampson.
JD, Marcus did talk about, when Oklahoma State gets into 10 personnel and some of the challenges that did create. Like, could you expound on that as a linebacker, just like why that's maybe a difficult personnel group and sort of what it forces you to do to sort of change up maybe how you attack it?
Sure. They started out trying to run the ball, and when they go into the 10 personnel, it puts a lot of stress on linebackers as they're in an apex, and a lot of times they're trying to read that apex linebacker. And so a lot of times you're in the fit, but you're also having to help with any kind of duo or two detached receivers. And so it just puts a little more stress on the linebackers. And I mean, we need to just make sure we do a better job as we go forward. Like, I need to make sure I do a better job and just continue to get better.
Aiden Thomas.
Hey, JD. So obviously early in the year, the linebacker room had a lot of injuries. Have some of those guys coming back, but your role expanded a lot, became the leading tackler this season. How did you feel your role as a player and as a leader within the linebacker room developed throughout the year?
I mean, I think throughout the year, it's always going to continue to develop. I'm going to be able to lead better. I'm going to be able to learn. There's a lot of learning from game 1 to game 12 or 13 or whatever this was. And I think going into next season, it's only going to be great. And I mean, there's obviously, it's disappointing. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's like sad for us, but going forward, I think we're going to be better, and we're going to have to take this, learn from it, and go into the off season with a fire.
Pete, did you have another question?
I do not. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Angelo?
Yeah, JD, building off of that, just the fire, the motivation, how do you guys turn this into a positive now in the off season? Coach Freeman talked about the honeymoon phase being over. Obviously, there was so much excitement from the fan base around the program, and certainly now there's a lot of disappointment from them as well, in addition to you guys. How do you guys turn this into a positive in the off season?
I think it starts by each of us looking at our own performance and seeing what we need to get better, not just this game, but throughout the entire season, and then taking it from there and becoming closer as a group and loving each other and being able to work throughout this entire season to be able to come back for that first game against Ohio State.
Any questions? Jody, thank you so much for your time today. For all of you who joined us for the Fiesta Bowl this year and for this press conference, thank you so much for your time and support, and safe travels to everyone. Thank you. I'll just go ahead and open it up and just ask you, what did you see in the difference from the offense between first half, second half? What do you think was the biggest game changer there that you saw?
I mean, I'd say they shifted from opening up in 11 personnel, trying to run the ball a little bit And they started switching to 10 personnel and spreading us out, trying to get the ball to the perimeter in the screen game. I think they found success with that, getting their guys in open field and challenging us to, make the open field tackles. And I think we fell short on that aspect.
Okay, let's go to Pete Sampson.
Drew, in the second half, was their success, did it have anything to do with just gassing you guys a little bit, or was it just sort of schematically and you have to get adjusted to it on the fly, and it just took a while to get a handle on it schematically?
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say it was anything to do with, like conditioning aspect. I think it forces you to kind of stay in a base defense. It forces you to kind of simplify so you can easily get set up and, be disciplined and run the right call. So I think that kind of limited us in our play calling in a little bit. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think many times we were out schemed. I think it came down to just executing and, making tackles and covering guys. And, and that's really what it came down to.
Let's go to Angelo De Carlo. Go ahead, Angelo.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
A little bit of problem there. You're breaking up a little bit. We'll go back to Pete and then come back to you. Pete?
Drew, I asked Tyree this on the other Zoom call, but just like if you could sum up what the message was from Coach Freeman post-game, how he wanted the program to process this, how he sort of wanted you guys to feel coming out of it, to spin it forward, I mean.
Yeah. Well, we started out by thanking the seniors, thanking those guys that have been here for 4 or 5 years that are going to be leaving this program. And, for a lot of us, we're leaving it better than we found it. And, what a journey it's been for me, coming off of 4-8 season in 2016. I came in and we've had, double-digit seasons every year I've been here. And I've seen the culture change. I've seen this program continuing to climb. And I think that was his message. He thanked the seniors. Thanks for everything they did. And then he was looking forward. He was looking forward to what's next. I'm excited for next year because, it's a blessing in disguise sometimes. We all want the win, don't get me wrong, but to have that fire under you to push you in the offseason, this is going to leave a bad taste in the mouths of everyone for months and going into spring ball. And so I think, that was a message that he put on. And, I was telling the younger linebackers too, that, take it as everything happens for a reason. This is a blessing. It's not the outcome we wanted. And it's hard, it's bitter, but it's going to continue to move forward for the next season. And I'm excited to watch Notre Dame football in 2022.
Let's go to Tyler James.
Drew, what was the attitude on the sideline and how were you guys able to sort of handle things when it seems like nothing was seemingly going your guys' way?
Yeah, so we have a main message and theme. It's one play, one life. And so, every play, whether it was a big explosive plays, which, we had too many of those. It was reset, refocus, get the call, and you can't hang your hat on, what happened either the previous drive, the previous quarter, the previous play. And it's continuing to try to get better and find solutions, just hanging your hat and getting all rumbled up for, what happened in the past doesn't help the, future drives or future plays at all. So it's really just a locked in focus. And, I'm proud of the defense. Like I think we did that in the second half. There's a lot of, tough plays, whether explosive plays, missed tackles, things didn't go our way. And so we were battling. And I think, the sideline was good. It wasn't nothing to do with that.
Let's go to Manon McKinley.
Hey, Drew, I just wanted to ask, with the pace that their offense was moving at, how did you feel the communication was on the field, especially between the line and the secondary?
Yeah, they're any fast tempo defense or offense, excuse me, and especially Oklahoma State, who runs a high tempo offense. It challenges you. It challenges you in communication. It challenges you to get the call, get lined up. But at the same time, I feel like our preparation was great. We practiced that all bowl prep. We practiced the conditioning. We practiced communication. Practiced getting lined up. So there might have been a couple times where we fell short of getting the communication and getting lined up. But I think as an overall, I really don't think that was the problem on defense. I think it was more of just executing, like make it, on the 50-50 balls, you got to make a play. They got to be ours. On the tackling, by the first level and second level, like, you got to tackle the quarterback, you got to tackle the running back. And, I want to give credit to those athletes too. Every time, sometimes when offense makes big plays, everyone, it's quick to say the defense made a mistake. I got to give my hats off and praise to the Oklahoma State, offense for having playmakers and really making good plays, making explosive plays when they had to. So.
Any other questions for Drew? Thank you for your time, Drew. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Go Irish.
Next up is Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Reese had a great game plan as far as passing the ball for us. So he called some great plays for me. And yeah, I mean, I guess it was a lot of yards, but at the end of the day, all I really care about is winning and losing. And I wish I could have done a little bit more to help the team.
Len?
Is he coming back next year?
Jack, and once again, just going off of Tommy Reese's game plan, when Oklahoma State came back, what did you see defensively that caused some wrinkles and challenges?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like they were just making more plays, to be honest. I don't think they were doing anything crazy to, confuse me or the offense. At the end of the day, they were just making plays and we weren't. So I'd say that was the biggest thing.
Angelo?
Jack, obviously, it was a fantastic first half for the offense, and then no points there until late in the second half. How tough of a pill is that to swallow to end your career and your time in Notre Dame in that fashion with the way the game developed?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very tough when you have a lead like that at half. You want to be able to build upon that and obviously win. I mean, any loss hurts, no matter what kind of game it is. So definitely hurts, and use it as motivation for whatever I'm in next.
Jack, I was interested in your assessment of just sort of how the freshman offensive tackles held up in pass pro. And then how clear was it early in bowl prep that this was going to be a pass first, second, and maybe pass third type of game plan with you and Coach Reese collaborating?
Yeah, I mean, I think the freshman tackles did an amazing job. I mean, those guys are unbelievably talented and they work extremely hard. And, I have all the trust in the world in those guys. And the fact that they're going to be here, the next few years is pretty scary for other teams. And yeah, I mean, I think from pretty early on, I knew we were going to have to pass the ball a lot to win. Their defense is, outstanding at stopping the run and loading guys in the box. So maybe we're going to have to, win outside.
Patrick?
Jack, what kind of adjustments or different looks or new looks did you see Oklahoma State's defense kind of throw at you guys as the game went on? And
I just asked that question.
Can you repeat the question?
Sorry. Were there some kind of looks that Oklahoma State threw at you as the game went on that maybe you weren't on the scouting report, or some new stuff that they did that you hadn't seen on film?
Yeah, I don't really think they did anything new. I mean, they're very multiple in what they do as far as coverages. So they're always, mixing and matching those. But at the end of the day, they were just making plays and we weren't. So that was the biggest thing.
Aiden?
Hey, Jack, 2 questions. One, what did you see on that interception in the fourth quarter and how that play developed? And then 2, looking at, again, kind of some of the freshman talent, Lorenzo had his first career 100-yard receiving game. What have you seen from him as the season progressed and how he played today?
Yeah, I'd say on the interception, I just thought that I was going to be able to backdoor the guy. Obviously, he read my eyes well and came back on it. And he made a great play. At the end of the day, it's tough, and I should have probably worked outside and threw to someone else. But, that's football. And as far as, the young receivers and Zoe, he's a special player. And I've known it since day one. He's been an extremely hard worker. He's an amazing athlete. And, the fact that he's going to be back too is pretty scary for, other defenses.
Eric?
Hey, Jack, two-parter. What did you learn about Marcus Freeman as a head coach during the month of December? The second part of it is, as you're watching this team from a distance next year, what do you expect to see in this 2022 Notre Dame football team?
Yeah, I'd say, just from being around Coach Freeman more, just seeing how competitive he is and how much energy he has. He's always incorporating some sort of competition into, whatever we're doing. And, the guys have loved that, and it's been, a ton of fun. And he's just such a genuine guy. And, it's great to be around him. He's just such a real person, great guy, family man. I don't have enough good things to say about him. And yeah, as far as what the offense next year you're asking?
Yeah, the team next year.
Yeah, obviously, there's a ton of guys coming back, and the team's going to be super talented. And just the way this team works, and being in the weight room with Coach Bayless and his staff, like just building the guys mentally and physically. This team, will always be, a power in college football.
Any other questions for Jack? Angelo, go ahead.
Yeah, Jack, one follow-up, just on Tyler Buckner and what you saw from his development throughout the year and what you think he will be able to do for the program next year.
Yeah, it's been amazing watching him grow. He's just a super smart guy. He picked up the offense, extremely well, and is continuing to learn it more in depth, each and every day. And, I got to watch that throughout every practice. And, he's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing thrower, and he's going to be electric to watch next year. And I'm super excited.
All right, Jack, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Oklahoma State's defense making any second half adjustments to kind of curtail what the damage you guys are doing out of the backfield on those slow developing screens and hitting them for big plays?
Yeah, so throughout the course of the game, me and Logan and Aldrich and Coach Taylor were talking about how they were, one, not really letting us get out, and just keeping us in protection so that we couldn't get out. So that's what we noticed.
Chris, I was interested in sort of how you approached, prep and now that you're through the bowl, like being the lead guy, if that felt differently to you, and also just sort of a follow up, like where do you feel like the run game needs to go to be better?
I don't think I took a different approach to the bowl game, honestly. I just knew that there were a lot more opportunities to be made with Kyron being not playing. My approach was to take advantage of the opportunities as best as I could. And honestly, I think in the run game, I think we were doing pretty fine. I think it's just, up to us to keep doing what we're doing.
Patrick?
Chris, how early in bowl prep and as you guys started studying film here, did it kind of become an emphasis of getting you involved as a receiver in the passing game?
I think that's been an emphasis since I've been here. That was one of the reasons I came here. Coach Reese and Coach Taylor made it, pretty clear that I was going to be used to the best of my ability. And if they see that as me getting the ball in space, then that's what it is.
Eric, did you have a question?
Good, thanks.
Angelo?
Chris, is that as good as maybe you have felt all season there in the first half, especially? It seemed like you just had that extra burst, as you talked about this week, obviously being recovered from the turf toe, just maybe how you felt out there making those big plays and how good it was compared to most of the season.
Yeah, I would say I agree just because, I'm fully healthy. I felt really good out there. So, it's just up to me to take advantage of how I feel.
Len, did you have a question?
No, I don't.
Okay. Anything else for Chris? Pete, you want to go?
Chris, I just wanted to hear what your perception was of Marcus's message in the locker room post game. Like, what did he want you guys to take away from this? How did he want you to sort of feel about this experience?
Yeah. His main points were just talking about how we felt about the disappointment of the game, not being able to send the seniors off as champions, and just taking everything that we feel right now and using it as motivation for the next season.
Any other questions for Chris? Use the raise hand function. All right, thanks for the time, Chris.
Thank you.